Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Kilobyte Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. So I took the time to map Duna, of course. I did go through and mapped it. I got some ore deposits, really nice. Got some keythane deposits. Some of them even overlap, which is totally awesome. However, the next phase, I guess you could say, the next phase of my plan kind of ran into a snag. It ran into a snag, and unfortunately, that snag isn't a missing mod issue. It isn't a time issue. It isn't anything like that. What it is it is an engineering issue of all things, and it's not that I cannot design nor build our next the next portion of our mission, which I can. In fact, I did go through a couple of designs and put together one or two, which seemed to work. Whoa, too big. Which seemed to work fairly well. However, there's a delivery issue. I think you can, if you want to go in that direction. There's a delivery issue going on with 2x3s. I like the 2x3s. There's a delivery issue, and because there's a delivery issue, we have to do a few different things here. One of those things that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a very teeny tiny probe, very teeny tiny probe. Very teeny tiny indeed. And we're going to do a couple of things with this probe. Now, the first thing we're going to do, of course, we're going to put an wow, the ISA map set is huge. Look at that. It looks like an alien. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put an ISA map set on this probe, and we're also going to put ourselves another one of these, one of our little mining units, or ore detector units, I guess you can call it. And then along with that, just to make everything even and make it all look totally awesome, we're going to go ahead and slap one of those on there. Look at that. One Kerbal engineer. This is not as cute as I had hoped, but I like the size, so we'll go with the size. Now, oh, you know what? I just realized we may have to go with a bigger probe. Yeah, because we need one of these. Or if not one of these, we at least need one of these. And we're going to need a bigger probe for that. So let's go ahead and try that again. Anyway, I don't know why I did that. Old habits die hard, I guess. Could have just removed everything manually. But we'll go ahead and go back to our probe, our mech-jevish kind of brain, the Bomp Mini, the bolt-on 1.25 meter probe. Anyway, and if you notice, I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but there's a picture of, like, Jebediah right there, and I think it has his credentials or his data. Anyway, as I was saying, we ran into a bit of an engineering/delivery issue, and it comes from the unwieldy nature of a mod that I'm currently using, which is unfortunate. However, it is not super detrimental. It just means we have to take a few extra cautious steps when it comes to the next portion of our mission. So we're going to have a little bit of a filler here, and as you can see, I am trying to nope, too big. I am trying to design a spaceship, or excuse me, a probe, and our last probe was, of course, too small. Let's see, we need batteries, and we need bigger batteries. Here we go. What are these, 1,000? 1,000, the 2,000 units of... Stop it. 2,000, stop it. Stop. Damn it. Why is it the lower one's always off? Anyway, we need, there we go. Perfect! Aha! Genius. Anyway, so we have to design ourselves a probe that will do what we want. Of course, what we wanted to do is we wanted to scan for stuff. Now, where we're going to send this probe is still kind of a little bit of a secret. Just a little bit of a secret, not a huge secret, of course. I wouldn't keep huge secrets from you guys. That would be rude. But a little bit of a secret. And I'll get into where we're sending it here in a minute. But this is going to extend our play. This is going to extend our trip, our time, our effort a little bit. It's not going to be as cut and dry as I had originally thought. Let's go ahead and strip that off there. That should be fine, I think. We have our scanner. By the way, just so you guys know, I did increase the scanner range to 80,000 meters. I did that because you cannot scan Kerbal from 60,000 meters. It is impossible, and the only alternative to this unit is this unit, and it works up to 1,000,000 meters, and since there's no in-between for the two, I decided that 80,000 was good enough for this. But in order to balance it out, I did increase the power consumption by 0.4. I think I doubled it, and which isn't bad for 20,000 meters worth of extra clearance or extra scanning space. Anyway, so I think this will be our probe. This plus a couple other things, including these are the big ones? Yeah, these are the bigger ones. We'll take the bigger ones this time. I don't mind the bigger ones. They catch more light anyway. There we go. Alternatively, you know what? I've been kind of cheaping out on those, and these things weigh the same. Wait, do we have bigger versions of these? I don't think we have bigger versions of those, do we? We do not! Oh my dear lord, we do not. We only have the smaller versions of these. Well, that might be why. How much power do you guys get? Tracking speed, panel strength. Yeah. 2 a second. 2 a second, 2, and these ones are 4.5. Fine, we'll go with the bigger ones. I won't complain. Anyway, so we're going to send this probe up. It shouldn't take more than a standard 6-cylinder launcher, which I can show you guys here, you know, just by doing this. We just and we'll just go ahead and load a sub, and we'll do our lifters, and we want a 6-cylinder asparagus launcher, of course. That has an extra engine on it. I am okay with that, but it does not have a clamp. Clamp. We need a good clamp. Good clamp, there you go. One good clamp. Boom, done. And boom, done. Now this, of course, this asparagus launcher has a bit of a problem when it comes to, there it is. When it comes to loading, it tends to break this section right here. So let's go ahead and fix that, make sure it's all working proper. Nope, I didn't want 2, I wanted 6. There we go. The only problem with the new VAB, not new VAB, but the mod for this, the extended mod, is that sometimes the 6 doesn't show up when it's supposed to, but we can get it fixed, which we did. Alright, so what do we have for our... Oh, here we go. So we have 628, 1480, 2807, 5870, and 9134. This is stage, this is total, and I really don't like that, but yeah, so it's 628, 852, 1326, 3063, and 3264. Yeah, that's more than enough than what we need. So perfect. So this is going to be our probe. Unfortunately, I know you guys are like probably chomping at the bit saying, KB, we really want you to take some more people out, and I was going to. I promise. My last engineering issue did not involve Kerbals. It did not involve Kerbals. It included Kerbals, but they weren't the problem. The problem, as I said, is the unwieldy nature of the device that I was attempting to build. Comes from the mod issues. Now, I could hack together the mods, but I don't want to. I kind of like the idea of the challenge of putting the mod together, like the way it is, getting it to work the way it is. And so, of course, because that's a kind of a challenge, we are going to do it this way. And so, first off, we need to probe something. Yeah. And let's see, KSA. We called the one near Duna the Revealatron. I guess we can call this, we'll go ahead and call this the Map-O-Matic. Yes, we're going to call it the Map-O-Matic because it maps. It doesn't just map stuff, it does, of course, map the planetary surface. It will also map for Kethane as well as ore. Wonderful, wonderful. Not, like I said, not 100%. I wonder if well, power consumption would be a problem, I think. I was thinking about adding 2 of these and 2 of these, have them both detect at the same time, but that really doesn't do you much good. It does for the Kethane if you're like high up or going too fast, but we won't be either of those things, I don't think. This should all be set up perfectly, or at least near perfectly. And so here it is. Here's our ship. Here's what we're going to be taking into orbit. Absolutely. And up into space. And I think I'll tell you guys our destination as soon as we get into orbit, because, you know, I don't want to leave you guys hanging too much, especially considering well, that I just put this thing together in such a short time. So let's go ahead and get out there onto the launch pad, and I will see you guys in, well, I'll see you guys when we launch, and then of course I will also see you in orbit, because that's how I do. So see you guys there. Alright everyone, here we are out on the launch pad. Ooh, frame rate, there it goes, okay. Still a little laggy. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. Probably all the new wonderful parts we put on here. But we are here on the launch pad. We really don't have anything to wait for at this point, so we're just going to go ahead and launch and see if we can get this thing up into orbit. I don't know why it's being weird like that. Okay, there we go. Now my frame rate's fine. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and launch and see what happens. And once again, as always, I will include you guys in the first stage just to make sure our asparagus system is working. Now, you guys may think that, you know, since I sub-assembly loaded this thing and corrected it, that it works 100%. It really doesn't. There is not an issue, I guess you can say, but as of late, KSP, or maybe it's a mod, I don't know, but KSP has in fact been causing struts to randomly break and other parts and components to randomly break. So even though this is a sub-assembly loaded ship, it does have a potential chance to suddenly explode or just go really, really laggy for some reason. But it looks like for the moment at least we are in some form of okay orbit, or at least okay launch, and so because of that I will see you guys up in orbit, barring anything, well, exploding. So I'll see you guys there. Okay everyone, here we are in orbit. As you can see, we will not be burning towards the moon. The moon is right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little black dot. You really can't get it any closer to in front of the sun, but as you can see, I already have set up the burn for our destination, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time a little bit. Now, As you can see, our rocket isn't much bigger than what it would need to be. Well, actually, it isn't any bigger than what it would need to be to get to the moon. And there is a very special reason for that. I don't know if I want to give it up to you guys. You know, I had this really special, super awesome thing set up for you guys. You know what, at 36 meters per second. I don't know how long it's going to take. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's not bad. We might overburn a little bit, but, you know, whatever. I don't know if I want to give it away right away or wait until we get, you know, get closer. I'm feeling like we're just going to wait till we get closer. I know, the suspense is killing you. But unlike me, you have the ability to fast forward. Oh, but then, of course, you would miss all the wonderfulness that is my exaltations regarding space and all that jazz. Honestly, I really don't know that much about space. I know it's out there, it's big, and there's lots of stuff in it we can't get to. No, space is awesome. But, well, you know, it's screwed. We are heading to... Nope. Yeah, no. I know I'm a tease, right? No. We're going to be heading to Minmus. Yeah, we're going to head to Minmus, and there's a reason for it. Like I said, it's an engineering problem, absolutely an engineering problem. More than anything else, let's just go ahead and lock in our turn. Whoa. Oh, okay, that's our secondary encounter. Yeah, I did that one on purpose, where we would encounter the moon if we missed Minmus, because I'm funny like that. But let's just go ahead and get over there really quick. I don't know, really quick, but as you can see, we are just a probe. We don't have to worry about any Kerbals or anything. And I know you guys are like, you know, KB really should have had, you know, I can't even see Minmus. I gotta be cautious about this. It's probably gonna take us a while to get out there, honestly. It's gonna take us a really long time. Oh, we were only moving at 50 speed. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have to be cautious. I really don't want to just keep looking at the map screen. So I'm just going to kind of fast forward and slow down time a little bit. I mean, I could skip it to where we're out there, but honestly, I'm kind of curious to see if I can spot it, you know? Maybe spot Minmus before we reach it. Oh, ooh, there's a pretty for everybody. Look at that. Nice Kerbal eclipse with the moon behind. That's pretty awesome. Of course, that means we're now running on battery backups, which is not... Whoa, what just happened? What just happened? I think we were just captured by Minmus. If we were, where is she? Or did my mouse just go really weird? Well, we're gonna have to check the map. No, not even close. I guess my mouse just went really weird. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want... I know we're not that close, but I really do want to catch it, you know? Just, like, spot it, see it before we run into it. Minmus, where are you? I know you're out here. I can sense your fear. Not really. You know what I mean. Fine, I'll use the map screen. Yeah, we're not gonna... Wow, really? Yeah, that would have been a waste of time. Okay. Alley-oop. Coming in. Should get caught any time now. Still can't see her. Oh, there she is. Nope. Wait, that's Kerbal? Okay, that's Kerbal. I was gonna say, that's pretty big. No, really, I'm curious now. Oh, hello. There she is. I'm a genius. Alright, I think we may have been caught by her wonderful gravitational pull, Minmus. Yes, we were. Oh, no, we're not. Not yet. Wow, really? That's that shallow, huh? I keep forgetting how shallow Minmus's gravity is. Alright, we'll get grabbed. Whoa, there it is. Alright, so we'll do our orbital maneuver. This shouldn't take me too long. I do apologize once again for all the map screen stuff, but it is super important. 89, we need lower than that. 69. Well, why not lower than that? 46? What do you think? 50, guys? 60. 60. 49. Yeah, I like... Go the other way. Go the other way. 48. I'm just being silly, but... Wow, really? It's that small a... Fine, 49. There, 50. Ha! That small a stretch. So here's Minmus, our wonderful, wonderful Minmus. You know what? I should really correct that since we are coming in and we have... How much fuel do we have? We have... Oh, well, a metric crap ton, I think, is how much that is, because we have that and that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut here really quick, or maneuver us over the North Pole, because we are going to be doing the north-south mapping, of course. Maneuver us over the North Pole, get everything set up, and then I'll see you guys when we're much closer to Minmus. Absolutely. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright, everyone. As you can see, we are much, much, much closer to Minmus, who looks really... bumpy. Now, I haven't performed a burn just yet. I did want to bring you guys in for it because it's going to be a very, very difficult one because I, what's the word? Missed? yeah, I kind of overshot, undershot, missed our original burn a little bit to the point of bad things happening, and because of that, I decided that the best option would be to let you guys show, you know, come in and see all the fun. So as you can see, we're down to 22 kilometers. Pretty shallow, honestly. And I think because we're close enough to the planet now, I'm just going to go ahead and do our burn now. I'm not going to start mapping because we do not have our north-south polar orbit just yet. As I said, I'm off by about 45 degrees, which I think our Kerbal engineer will attest to here shortly. And what are we at? Oh, that's vessel. I need surface, altitude, no, orbit. Oh, pardon me. I'm all flummoxed today. What do we got? 21 by 64. Okay, so we're going to want to drop the other one down to about 50. That was my original idea, I believe, was to drop the other one down to 50. So let's go ahead and do that. It's really super quick. There you go, 50. Now I know that Minmus is a real pain in the butt to 48 works. It's a real pain in the butt to map, and our current orbit is going to take us to the dark side of the planet, which we do have 2100 units of electrical power, but that may not be enough. Oh, by the way, that's our engine. Speaking of which, before we go into orbit, before we do all that, I'm going to pause before we go into orbit, but I wanted to show you guys something before I did that. Where is she? Right there. What's that? That is the Moon Rock 1 traveling at 8,746.3 meters per second and is 13 billion meters out. Yeah, no idea how she got there, by the way. I think she may have had an encounter with the moon at one point and got... Wow, that's completely different from her other... No, that's about right. Yeah, she got flung out into an orbit around the sun. And I'm pretty sure if we're lucky enough, there could be a chance she could get another encounter with us. She can get another encounter with Kerbin, with Minmus, with the moon. She may even get an encounter with Eve. I don't know. So we're going to monitor the Moon Rock 1. I'm going to keep an eye on the Moon Rock 1 just to see what happens with that. We're not going to cancel it as debris. But as you can see, our orbit, very, very bad right now. Oh, it almost looks like Minmus has an atmosphere there. Anyway, so very, very bad right now. I'm going to go ahead and get that corrected for everybody. And then we're going to go ahead and come back from the break. So, of course, it will just take me one moment. So I'll see you guys in just 1 or 2 frames, I guess. So I'll see you there. Alright, everyone. Very short cut here, only because we are in an orbit. A rather, I would say a rather nice orbit around... Around Minmus. I was able to divert our orbit by roughly 90 degrees, and the reason I did that, of course, was so that our solar panels would always be pointing in the direction of the sun. And the reason for that, of course, is because, let me go ahead and lock us in, is because we just want as much power as possible, and if we were going to the dark side, that would be a pain. So basically, we'll be rotating around Minmus in this direction, and that should always keep us aimed at the sun, no matter what's in our way. Now, we may get an eclipse from Kerbin, we may get... I don't think we'll get an eclipse from the moon, but we may get an eclipse here or there or something like that, but Minmus should not get in our way, I hope. But what we're going to do first is we're just going to go ahead and kick on our detectors here really quick. And I'm going to have to disable those scan tones. Let's go ahead and do that. Disable scan tone. Disable scan tone. There we go. And we are going to... Well, we can't start mapping that way. My bad. We are going to bring up our ISA map set, and we are going to begin mapping Minmus. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's say current position is... on. Let us quick save. I thought I turned that off. Map drawing is on. There we go. So we are going to start mapping. That's they're still bleeping, but whatever. I'll fix that here in a minute. So we have started mapping. It shouldn't take us too long to map Minmus, I hope. We are in a basically 90-degree inclination on our orbit. That's perfectly perpendicular to the north and south, so that's a bonus. We, of course, will also be mapping for Kethane and for ore deposits. All very important things, but that's going to take a little while. So, as I said, short pause. Or a short video. Anyway, point being is we are going to cut one more time. I know lots of cuts, but we are going to cut one more time so that I can figure out where that beeping is coming from, and so I can map all this stuff without having to waste your guys' time. So we will be back in just one moment. Alright, everyone. We are back. It's taken me quite some time to map Minmus. Oh, I forgot how long it takes to map this little guy. So, if you take a look down here at the bottom right, of course you can see our very, very, very complete map. Lots and lots and lots of mapping going on. Still only the one anomaly. Pretty sure it's the same one we couldn't get to last time, unfortunately. But this is not our goal this time, just so you know, this is not our goal. Our goal this time is to find Kethane and ore deposits. Now, if you look, Minmus doesn't have a lot in the way of ore deposits, unfortunately. Probably because of its makeup. They're pretty scattered, very, very tiny. I'd say one of these grids on Minmus is probably about, I don't know, a couple miles across or less. Without, well, really with the size of Minmus, they're probably more like a couple of 100 meters. But as you can see, this one right here, I know it's very, 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 very tiny. But if you take a look at the numbers there, Kethane 358128.7 and ore 756902. 756902 is very, very good for an ore deposit. Also, if you look, bam, right in the middle of a gigantic kethane deposit. That's wonderful, wonderful overlay like that. There's only one other that overlays exactly like that, and it's this one down here. And this is a 88139 by 647 244. And they overlay pretty well, but I don't like how thin they are. So even if we miss, honestly, even if we miss the ore deposit here by a little bit, little tiny bit, we will have a gigantic kethane bed to land on. The rest of these, of course, are pretty basic, you know, little ore deposits here and there, some pretty big kethane deposits here and there. Now, as you may not know about the extraplanetary launch pad, which is what creates the ore deposits, as well as the kethane mod, is that they're generated randomly upon start of the game, or like when you first scan. So because of that, you end up with randomly placed deposits on both. So the fact that we got even one that is pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice for both. Right here, a very teeny tiny spot to land on. But you know what? I haven't even looked at what that spot looks like to land. Oh, is that a flat top? Oh, look at that. It looks from here it looks pretty flat. So it looks like we're going to be landing somewhere around in this area, hopefully within those 3 grid squares, if not somewhere really close by. Now you may be wondering what we're landing, and of course, in order to show you that, we're going to have to go back to the VAB. So I will see you guys back down there on Kerbin, which is right over there. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everyone, back inside the VAB. Now, as I was saying before, this mission is being created for Minmus because the mission I had originally planned for Duna is, in an engineering sense, very, very, very difficult from Kerbin. It's not very difficult to get the equipment to Duna. It's difficult to get the equipment off Kerbin. And because of that, I figured that why get it off Kerbin when we can get it off Minmus? Now, to do that, we have a nice little toy here from the extraplanetary launch pad, which is a launch pad number 2. It's unmanned, but it contains a mechanical brain as well as some parts and some fuel. And so if you drop this thing out, it looks like this. Now, you guys may be like, okay, KB, I don't know what that is. Well, this is a really awesome device that unfolds into a launch pad. And upon this launch pad, you can launch equipment into space, provided you have all the correct parts. Now, of course, the correct parts means this right here. So you have to have fuel. You have to have monopropellant. You have to have basically any device or any any fuel components that the ship has, as well as rocket parts. Now, rocket parts is where the problem comes in, because if we take a look here, we have a rocket part container which contains 0 out of 1700 units, and that looks like this. It's a hex container. I mean, pretty awesome, but not a lot of things in Kerbal Space Program are hex containers, so you know it kind of becomes a problem. Now, here's a few other issues. This is the whole engineering issue that I was talking about before. In order to get rocket parts, you have to mine for ore. Now we have an ore container down here. Basically, it's the same thing. I just want to find the right one for you guys. All right, so we have an ore container here. That's 1700 units of ore, and then from there you have to convert that into metal. So that's 3 containers already. Now, if I wanted to launch with metal or launch smaller ones, these ones are smaller, but this one contains like 3.3. I'm not sure what 3.3 units of ore or metal could get you, or even rocket parts. And then we have one that's 26.6, which is slightly larger. So they have different sizes, but the different sizes really don't offer that much in the way of additional content. Now, the reason why this is also an engineering fiasco is we have our drill for acquiring ore. And that looks like this. And you might not think that's a really big problem, but it's surface mounted, like so. And as you can see, it can either make a ship very unstable, or alternatively, it can get in the way of couplers. Now, at the same time, in order to convert all these things up, you need 2 additional parts. The 2 additional parts being a smelter here. Now, the smelter is huge. This is a smelter, and it doesn't really attach. I don't know why, but it doesn't attach on this green bit here from the underside. Things can attach to it, but it cannot attach to things. It's a weird problem. But this is a smelter, and the smelter is huge. And then that's just to convert ore to metal, and then to convert metal to rocket parts, you need the assembly. Now the assembly, of course, is just this big tower thing, which looks really awesome, but of course becomes unwieldy when you're trying to put it on a spaceship. So this becomes an engineering fiasco. And as I said, I did build something that that kind of works. It kind of works, but it's just so unwieldy to get it off of Kerbin that I figured that we could try to build it on and remove it from Minmus instead. And that's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. But the first thing we have to get up there, of course, is this little guy right here. And as you notice, he does have a connection node over here. It does work. He also has one, I think, over here. Or is it on the other side? Okay, it looks like it's just this one. So he has a really odd connection node right there. It does work, but it just makes him, like, be stuck. I'm not entirely sure why that connection node's even there. So we'll just ignore that for now. Luckily, his center of mass is not off. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and fly this to Minmus. There's really nothing special about this. It has, like I said, it has its own fuel. Well, it has its own fuel supply. And if you take a look at MechJeb, we'll just take MechJeb on here really quick. We'll just plop him right here on the bottom. The fuel, it allows it, it's a 2.49 thrust to rate ratio max and 1.76 normal, which is great. And then it's got a vacuum delta V of 1191, which is awesome. It can land on its own without a problem, and I love that. Also, when it folds out here at the base, and so you're basically landing straight up and down. It's really interesting to see, and I'm probably gonna have to do like a Let's Learn or something on it for everybody to, because it took me a while to figure out how this whole thing works, and designing stuff with it is extremely difficult, but just learning how the whole thing works is kind of a pain anyway. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and launch this up by itself on its own. We're going to try to get this as close to those deposits as possible. And so I'm just going to go ahead and strap a real quick 6-cylinder asparagus under this. I think we can go ahead and honestly just do that right now without wasting too much time. Let me just go ahead and pop one of these on here. And the connecting node's a little off, but you know, the game doesn't mind. So if the game doesn't mind, I don't mind. We're going to go with a 6-cylinder asparagus just to make sure we have enough fuel for everything. I'm going to plop that on there just like that. Going to make sure all of our connecting nodes are where they're supposed to be. That's that clamp, there. And then we got to make sure that our connecting nodes here have not gone awry, which of course they have, because that's what they do. Alright. At least I know where it's broken, right? Although sometimes when I load it, it's not broken, or it's broken in slightly different ways. So there we have that, and let's just go ahead and put MechJeb on here really quick. Oop, just one MechJeb. And that gives us, let's see, 508, 645, 883, 1403, 572, and 1191. That should be more than enough to get us to Minmus, even though this thing is pretty heavy. It really is pretty heavy, but honestly, the other ship got us to Minmus without a problem, and if this thing gets lost in space, we're not too concerned about it. We can, of course, launch another one. So, I will see you guys out there on the launch pad, I think, and we'll go ahead and get this to where it needs to go, and then from there, we will try our best to get our next stuff out. Oh, and you know what? I just remembered we need to name this thing. Let's go ahead and call this thing the KSA. Oh, wait, I had it for a second there. We'll call it the Hopscotch. It's not exactly what I had in my mind, but it's close enough. Basically, I was thinking of like a launch pad or jump start or something, but or Frogger, I think. Something like that. It's something along those lines, but the Hopscotch works. So we'll call it the KSA Hopscotch. And we're just going to go ahead and get this thing out on the launch pad and get it up into orbit. And so I'll see you guys outside. Okay, out on the launch pad. Really nothing special to say about this. We should be able to fly just fine. And without further ado, let's get moving. We're a little bit heavier than I thought we would be. That may be a problem, but as long as our first stage goes pretty well, or goes okay, we should be perfectly fine. This is really weird because it's almost perfectly stable. I'm not even doing anything to adjust it. Oh, there it goes. Now it starts to flip and flop. Alright, we're going to have to use a little bit more thrust than normal on this, I think. And that may cause us to run out of fuel a little bit more quickly. But provided nothing else goes wrong, because it looks like our first stage has survived, I will see you guys in orbit. So I'll see you there. Alright everyone, as you may see here, it looks like our little rocket ship might be a little bit heavier than it looks, and so for that reason I think we may have to create or at least use a larger lifter, because we are basically reaching our apoapsis. We're not getting anywhere at all. We burned through about 90% of our fuel and have barely made it to 23,000 feet. Planes can go higher than this, or well, almost higher than this. So it looks like we're going to have to go ahead and put this onto a different rocket because we're not getting anywhere and we're not getting there quick. So let me go ahead and put one together in the VAB really quick, and then I think I'll just see you guys in orbit when I get there. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everyone, as you can see we are near Minmus. I decided to skip over a lot of the fluff because, well, two reasons. The first is I forgot to put some kind of power generation on this thing. So the only thing we've been using to regenerate our power, which you can see here is at 32.09 out of 50, is the mainsail engine, which doesn't generate as much as we use. So unfortunately we are kind of fighting a losing battle here. The second thing is that, well, I have been turning off the power, so that's been helping. But the second thing is that we need to land, and the landing coordinates are, well, I put them in. So MechJeb has assisted us with that at least, and I figured you guys would want to see the landing. Everything else is really, you know, getting here is kind of dull. It wasn't really too exciting. We did go a little bit further out of Minmus's orbit, then come back, get captured, so on and so forth. That part, of course, is really boring. But now we have to do the really exciting thing where we try to land the sucker. Now, it only takes 57.8 to land it, but that, of course, is dependent mostly on whether or not our power stays on. That's really the big gig here, is whether or not we keep our power. So I've been trying to power or conserve power as much as possible. At 57.8 meters per second on this burn, it's not going to be enough to really regen our power that much, which is unfortunate. But hopefully it will be enough to, well, keep us from dying horribly. So yeah, we are regenerating a little bit of power, not a lot. We are a little bit uneven, so I do have to use up some of that same power to keep us straight. It's kind of a catch-22 in that regard. But we should be okay. We should be pretty okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, close enough. I'll go ahead and turn off our power. Blink. That way we're not using up as much as we were, and we will fast forward time a little bit. And let's check our landing coordinates, make sure they're at least roughly where they're supposed to be. Well, that's where they're supposed to be. Let's go ahead and see where they're actually going to be. So it looks like, yeah, our landing coordinates aren't going to be too far off. So as long as we keep this trajectory, we should be able to land somewhere in this quadrant area thing. And as long as we land there, we should be fine. Now, of course, that all depends on a lot of stuff. And we are on the dark side of I lost the planet. How do you lose up? There it is. I always keep losing these things. I don't know why. They're huge. Anyway, we shouldn't be coming in too quickly, but at the same time, we do have to be cautious and smart and so on and so forth. And, well, you know how I am about those sort of things. So, let's, 30 kilometers? Can I use my power? See, I don't want to flip on my power. The other thing is that I put MechJeb, as you can see, with a little green glow there. I put MechJeb on the mainsail tank, the big orange tank, not on the little ship itself. So once we lose that big tank, we are, of course, going to be without MechJeb to assist us on our landing. When we get that close, I should be able to just knock us to the correct location without too much difficulty, I think. And as you can see, I'm using a little bit of power to try to steer us in the right direction. I don't know. Oh, wait, I think I know why. Are we good? There we go. Now we're moving. Okay. I was using up all that power and wasn't sure why we were using up all that power. Okay. And then we will just... these things are always in the way. There you go. They should add those buttons up here so you can turn stuff off that way. Unless it's on the line. Oh, okay. They're here. We can do electricity. There you go. I would very much like you to turn the other ones off, though. Or not. Just electricity, please. Alright, that's just really weird. Yeah, I can turn on electrical charge. Stage only? No. See, that's not it either. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's... Ugh. Whatever. Whatever, I'm not too concerned. Can't see. I know you guys can't see. I do apologize that you cannot see. We're just going to have to cope with what we cope with here, which is, of course, not being able to see. So we should be headed in the right direction towards the ground-ish. Hey, if nothing else, maybe we can land on the mainsail tank. That'd be a really interesting endeavor. At least long enough to be able to get to the other side of the dirt, I suppose you could say. Let's see. If we crash this thing, I'm not going to be too concerned. Like I said, it is a mechanical device, not super duper 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 important. But 2 kilometers, that's my true altitude, yes? Yes. 2 clicks is my true altitude. Okay, so we're coming down. Let's go ahead and see if we can come down a little bit more slowly. Okay, we're gaining more than we're losing, which is good. 1 kilometer. Whoa, 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 whoa. We really got to speed that up a little bit, I think. $900. Okay, well, we just bounced a little bit. Yeah, we did. We bounced a little bit. We do have to slow our roll, though. And I'm burning a lot of electricity trying to do that. Yeah, we bounced. So, we're probably going to overshoot our target if I'm not super duper careful. I know up isn't where we really want to go, but... Alright, how's our... vertical speed is going down. We are going to do something silly, and we're going to ditch this now. Now, that just lost us mech jib, but if we're lucky... we shouldn't require quite so much power to get it done. Alright, we're going to bring ourselves down a little bit. I think is what we're going to do. I don't know my true altitude now, though. Alright, we are coming down and over. Over not so good. Down's a little bit better, but over's not so good. Okay, we just want to slow ourselves down. Like I said, can't see where we are. That causes a bit of an issue here. Mostly because if I can't see where we are, I don't know where we're crashing to, so... we're, of course, losing power, because this thing doesn't regenerate power when I use it. It causes a little bit of an issue. Ugh. This would be so much easier with Jeb. Well, this is going to be a fun little jaunt, I think, or a fun little something. I think we're about to hit the ground. I think. I honestly don't know. We're only going at 3 meters per second, so it's not that big a deal, but I guess I could just leave the engines kind of running and see what happens. But if we hit the ground too hard, we break instantly, no questions asked. Trying to keep us stable-ish. Tons of fuel to work with, though. That's the great part. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Hopscotch. So the Hopscotch probe has taught us where we're located, or how high we are, roughly how high up we are, which is really nice. That way we don't have to burn up so much electricity coming down. I hope. Now, of course, there could be a hill here. I don't know. I didn't put landing lights on this thing. I guess I could have put a light on the bottom, but I really didn't think about that, so my bad. My bad. We're at 12 units of power, which may not seem like a lot, but it is. It can be. Can be considered a bit, at least. I can't see the ground. It's like invisible. Ground, where'd you go? Did we just hop up again? Oh no, okay, it bounced. Oh crap, that's no good. If it bounced, I don't know where we're at. Gonna have to bring our speed down again for safety purposes. Wait until I bounce. Alright, still coming down. I'm getting close so I can feel it, like in my bones. I'd very much like to go as slow as possible over the surface. Okay, we're up to 3 meters per second again. Alright. Yeah, we're very close to the ground now. Guess I could use the camera to kind of tell which way we are to the ground, but that probably wouldn't help us either. Come on, ground, where the hell did you go? Alright, we're coming up on it now, I can feel it. Really feel it now, I honestly feel it, not just faking it, not just lying to you guys. Mostly because the horizon is getting a little high over there on the edge, so that usually means something. Although it's nice that we're not using quite so much power now. I wish this thing had lights on it. Well, no, I don't, because if it had lights on it, I'd be burning up more electricity trying to see where the ground's at. Alright, 2.7. Come on. Now, you guys may be wondering about the electricity. This thing does require electricity to work, but I already have a plan for that. I don't know if you guys really care at all about that, but I do have a plan for it, so not to worry about that at least. Where the hell are you, ground? It's there somewhere. I can, like, sense it, smell it, see it, taste it, something. There's gotta be ground here. Alright, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just floating. I can't be floating. I'm dropping at 3 meters per second. It can't be floating. Now, we're going down. We're going down. We're just not going down as fast as it... Ugh. Lightless landing. Never a good idea, whether you have a Kerbal on board or not. Alright. Oh, getting really close now. You can see the horizon just moving. I know, not super exciting, but you guys have to be here for this. Well, you don't, of course. As always, you do have the option of moving forward in the video, so you don't have to watch all the boring bits where I crash stuff into the ground. But if it wasn't for the boring bits, why would you be here? Oh wait, no, it's the exciting parts where I crash into the ground. That's what you that's what you guys want to see, right? I keep forgetting about that. Absolutely, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see this boring stuff. What good is boring stuff? A little bit faster, a little bit faster. Come on, ground, where'd you go? I'm doing really good at landing this. I'm feeling really steady about that, but I cannot see, sense, find, think, know, see, you know, where the hell the ground went. It's around here somewhere, I know it. I'm pretty sure it's below me. I mean, usually ground is below you. That's where ground usually likes to stay. I don't know, sometimes ground is above you. Depends on your day. Might be having a very bad day. The ground is no longer below your feet. Alright. Ground is very near now. Very near now. To the point where, you know, if it were any closer, we'd be touching it by now. We're landing on a hill. I can feel that we're landing on a hill. And I'm pretty sure that thing up there is our probe. Is our something. It's 94 kilometers. There's the ground. Found you, ground. You thought you were going to be sneaky. And there it is. Okay. Now, I'd like to wait. Let's go ahead and wait. We're going to wait to unpack this. So let's quick save. And we're just going to flip Minmus around to a point where we can see what we're looking at. Now that we're on the dirt. So you guys can see what we're supposed to be doing here. There you are. There's the sun. Alright, so here's... Wow, this is nice. This is pretty flat. I like this. I hope we just landed somewhere near where we were supposed to. I guess I could take a quick look and say that our ship is slightly off from our landing coordinates, but not by much. Not by much, and that's good. I like that. We're pretty damn close, and I like that. Anyway, we're not going to take the chance to land. But anyway, what I wanted to show you guys is this is what this is. Now, the way this thing works is it's like this. Let's go ahead and unhook our thing. And what you do is you click open. And bam! One extra planetary launch pad, just like that. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too great. Now, the way it works here is what you do is you just go ahead and open the show build menu, and you have your craft. You have the VAB or the SPH, and you can do like select the VAB, and you select your craft, and it opens up, and it says what would you like to load, and you can load any of the ships you want. Now, let's go ahead and take, say, the Lothfar one. Now, you guys know my ships are usually the ship plus the rocket, so this is going to be a very expensive build because it is a ship plus rocket. So, but if we load this, it tells you you need 4,063.6 rocket parts, and we only have 800 available. The ship on board, the launch pad, has 800 available. Electric charge, you don't have to have 100. If you want, you can have 0, rocket fuel 0. So we can say 0, 0, 0, but you absolutely have to have the number of rocket parts, and that's where the whole ore thing comes in. So it does become a bit of an issue, but you can fuel using this. See, as you can see, you can say you want 11% of the fuel that the whole ship would require, or you can say I want 100% of the electrical charge the ship would require. We don't need any of that, because if we were to build something that, say, had a solar panel on it, boom, we'd have a generator. We could build a generator and then launch it from here, and we'd have a little generator we could, you know, stick on here. So it's pretty interesting, and I'm really excited to get this thing to work. But of course, I do have to design a few things, because we either have to launch it from Kerbin, which is most likely what's going to happen for at least half of what's coming up, The other half we may be able to make right here on Minmus, and once we make it, we can then decide whether or not we want to transport it to another location. And I'm not sure if you guys are seeing that or not, but I see a moon of some kind or a black spot right there, and another one right there. And I'm wondering if those might be... well, that might be a black space on my screen, I think. Oh, okay, never mind. They're both black spots on my screen. So I have spots on my screen that look like moons passing over the sun. I do apologize for that, pointing that stuff out that's not even there for you guys. Really have to clean that thing. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to show you guys that because I thought it was super awesome. Of course, it absolutely is super awesome. There is a way, of course, for us to get materials to here, because as you can see, this thing doesn't contain materials, but I'm going to save that, I think, for the next video, because if this has not been time, it's pretty close, and I really just wanted to get this thing on the ground, and we did. And that's a start. So, for now, I absolutely would like to thank each and every one of you for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. And in the next video, we should most likely get some Kerbals up here, one way or another, because we are going to need Kerbals to do this. They're very important to this particular design. So I will see you guys next video.